Welcome to Shelley Cooks. Today we're going to be doing a breakfast sandwich, and I'm going to be putting the sandwich on some Hawaiian rolls that I made the other day. So stick with me and maybe you'll like it and give it a try as well. So the first thing I'm going to start out with is I'm going to use mild Italian sausage as the meat on this. And I have some bacon cooked as well. So I may actually do the bacon in some as well. Once this is cooked, we will start scrambling up some eggs. And it only consists of eggs, breakfast meat. So in this case, as I said, we're using sausage that we're going to crumple up. And we may use some of the bacon as well that I have. So we're going to use those three things and cheese. So because there's a topping that gets brushed on the top that consists of butter and maple syrup that is sweet, I wanted to add a little bit of an element of heat to this as well. So I think that should be enough. So what I chose to use in this one is pepper jack, and it has a little bit of jalapeno in the cheese, and that'll give a little bit of a spice, and plus these mild Italian sausages. So I'm kind of thinking that the combination of the sweet and the heat will work well together. So I'm going to take this to the stove, put this on the stove, and get this started browning up. I'm going to wash my hands first, and we'll be back. Okay guys, we've got our sausage here browning, and I've gotten some nice color on it because with pork, that's where the flavor comes, when you can get some browning on it and it looks brown. It's not just that the pink is cooked out. It's got some nice little brown bits in it. So I'm going to turn this off, and I actually have a plate here, and I'm just going to, with that lined with paper towel, so I'm just going to put this on this to drain a bit and to cool down, because next we have to do our eggs. I'm going to actually drain off most of this fat that we're left with, and I'll leave just a bit to cook our eggs in, but I am going to wipe the pan out a bit. I just wanted to show you guys a quick second how absolutely gorgeous it is out there. We're getting our first real amount of snow for the year, and when you have weather like this makes it even better to be in the kitchen cooking for Christmas, doesn't it, when you're doing your baking and things. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. It makes me smile. Okay guys, so now we're back at our eggs, and we're going to start getting our eggs ready for this breakfast sandwich. I've already put 13 eggs in, and I think I'm going to do 15. Now this seems like a lot of eggs, but I am doing, I think it's 20 rolls. So maybe I'll do a couple of more even. So I'm going to do 17, because my thinking is if there's scrambled eggs left over, they certainly won't go to waste. Okay, there. Now in my scrambled eggs, when I cook them, I always cook them low and slow. So it takes a bit of time, but they cook up beautifully so that they're nice and creamy. And when I say creamy, I don't mean wet, I don't mean undercooked. I just mean that they're creamy. So to that many eggs, I'm adding about a quarter of a cup, I guess, of Miracle Whip. And to that, I'm going to add just maybe a little bit of black pepper, maybe a half a teaspoon or so. We have to flavor every element that we're putting in, right? And I'm also going to add a pinch of salt, not a lot, because that's probably about a half a teaspoon as well, which isn't a lot when you look at all of the eggs that we have here. So I'm going to mix these up really, really well. And then we're going to go back to the stove and put these on low and slow while we're stirring them constantly. I also have a couple of other things here that I will be getting ready. So I have some cheddar cheese as well. So I've decided that I'm actually going to grate up a little bit of this and put on as well for color. I have my bacon here and my Monterey Jack. So I'll be grating up some cheese while this is cooking and getting our rolls ready in the pan. That looks pretty good. So we're back at the stove now, and I am going to put our eggs in. There was just the tiniest, maybe a teaspoon and a half of the fat that was left from the sausage. You can see it sort of floating on the top there. That's going to add a lot of flavor. And what we want to do is we want to keep a real close eye on these eggs because we don't want them to dry out. So that doesn't mean that you have to stir them constantly, but you want to give them a little time to set on the bottom a bit before you move it around. So right now our heat is set to between medium and low. And we can see that we're starting to get a little bit of thickening here, which is what we want. The eggs are starting to scramble, and we are just going to keep stirring it and moving along the bottom to make sure that they don't stick for long and dry out. Okay guys, so our eggs are done, and I'm going to get them off before they start drying up. You can see how nice and glistening they are. We have some patches on the bottom, so this is it. This is what we're looking for, okay? Let's go assemble our breakfast sandwiches. So I've got everything here that we're going to need to finish these breakfast sandwiches off. These are the Hawaiian Rolls that I made the other day. And so I'm going to put the bottom part in. I've split them in half. And I'm going to put them back into the pan. This is the pan they were baked in. And there we go with that. And on top of that, we are actually going to put some scrambled eggs. Before we do this, I'm going to set my oven to 350. Okay. There we go. I want to be generous with the scrambled eggs. Oopsie. I have another, I think it's another 9 of these that I'm going to do with the bacon. But I may have to scramble more eggs. I want the egg to be nice and thick. So both of my boys are home with me now, and they're going to be here until after Christmas. So they both work from home. So this is what has sort of got me into this breakfast sandwich mode, because by the time they're up and working, I am still in bed. So this way they can, I say boys, but they're in their 30s, but people understand. And so they can have breakfast in the morning without me being up. I have a couple of other little things that I'll be doing as well. So on top of this, I'm going to do some Monterey Jack that I have grated, or shredded, I should say, with the grater. And we'll do that. Let's be generous with this as well. I should mention, in the microwave, I have 2 ounces of butter and 2 ounces of maple syrup melting. And so that will go on top of, once we've put the final layer on. So now we're going to do some sausage, crumpled sausage bits. I think this is going to be really delicious. I hope it is anyway. Make nice big sandwiches for them. Oh, this is going to be delicious, I think. It looks great already. I keep looking outside because I just absolutely love looking out and seeing that snow. Our Christmas tree went up yesterday. My husband's outside doing some decorating. We're so blessed. Now I'm going to put a little shredded cheddar. And this here's just a medium cheddar. Yes. Just make sure this all goes well. This is so pretty too. Oh, fantastic. There we are. Now on top of this, I think that's everything. Should I throw? Yeah, I'm going to throw a little bacon on there too. I have it all cut up for the other ones. Let's just do a little bit of it. Not a lot, just a bit. Yeah, why not? This is my idea of just a bit. Yep. Whoops, this side is missing some. There. So now I'm just going to put the buns on top, press it all down. Okay. A little bit falling out there. Oh gosh, that looks amazing already. So here we have our melted butter and maple syrup. And this is what we generously brush on the top. And this is going to add the little bit of sweetness that is going to be offset by the spiciness in the Monterey pepper jack and the mild Italian sausage. Oh my gosh, this looks so good, guys. This looks amazing. I hope it tastes near as good as it looks. Oh, that's awesome. So my plan is, once they're all done, and they've cooled down some, I'm going to actually cut them all in individual portions and wrap them and freeze them. And then my boys just have to take them out of the freezer, pop it in the microwave for a second, or even the toaster oven for that matter. And, oh, that looks amazing. There. So I think I'm going to scramble up some more eggs and do the other 9 that I have in another pan and call that done. Let me pop these in. I'll come back and let you know how they came out. I've scrambled up some more eggs. Our first batch are in the oven, the ones with in the larger pan. And now I am getting ready to do the ones in the smaller pan, which is good because I'll get to use up the rest of this sausage and bacon and I'll have no leftovers. Okay, these eggs though, when I cook them this time, I actually undercooked them a little bit, which is probably what I should have done the first time because they are going to cook again in the oven. So you just keep that in mind when you make them. I didn't for the first batch, but for the second ones I have. So as usual, I'm cutting the 4 corners so that this parchment paper will sit in the pan a little easier. There we go. Now I'm just going to take these out. I'm just going to split them and pop them back into the pan. Reminds me of cutting a cake. Okay, there we go. So this part is going to go on the bottom. We have these scrambled eggs. I'm using everything that I have left up in this batch. So I don't have anything left to have to worry about for leftovers. So now I'm going to spread this over evenly. Believe it or not, I had to use another, I think it was 7 or 8 eggs. Plus I still had some left over from before. So making these ahead, it does use up a lot. But when you think that how many breakfasts you're using it for, it's worth it. And there's nothing better than having make-ahead meals in your refrigerator. I do that often. So that if I'm not home or if I just don't feel like cooking, I have things left in the freezer, I should say, that I can just pop out, or, you know, whoever's home can just pop out and use. I always like to have a few things in there. Okay, we're going to use our cheddar. This is a combination of bacon and sausage. We're going to pop that on. I already have the maple syrup butter topping in the microwave, so that should be melted. There's not quite as much Monterey Jack, but that's fine. Okay, there we are. Just gonna make sure I use all of this. Perfect. There we go. Pop that over there. Let's see if we can distribute that a little bit better. There. And we're going to pop this on top. Let's grab our maple butter. Give it a little stir. So what I've noticed that happens is that as this cools down, of course, it hardens, which I kind of like more, to be honest, because it sticks to it a little bit better, but that's fine. So, whoops. The recipe for all of these things, of course, this will all be below. You could even, if you wanted more spice, you could even add some cayenne pepper to your scrambled eggs. You know, you could pop in some, which I thought about doing, diced peppers and that sort of thing with your scrambled eggs. Look, there are so many options when you're cooking and baking. They're endless. There. So I'm going to pop these in. And in a few short minutes, everything should be all set. This will go in for 15 minutes as well. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, guys, I just took these out of the oven. They look beautiful. So I will cut them each individually before I take them out of the pan. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like. They're very pretty. Let me come around and show you. I'm going to take a bite and try it as well. Let's see what it's like. I hope we get the combination of the heat and the sweet out of it. Oh yeah, that's very good. Mmm. Oh wow. That is delicious. That is delicious. You get the sweet right away. You don't really get the heat. So if I were to do it again, I would put some cayenne pepper in for sure to offset it a bit, or some red pepper flakes. But this is stellar. I mean, this is absolutely delicious. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining me. Give this a shot. It is amazing. Mmm. The boys are going to love that. Oh, bye.